So as you guys probably know, there's a new One Piece game being made as we speak by the Rell brothers themselves, and is receiving a ton of hype right now, and that game is called Rell Seas. So is Rell Seas really looking like the best One Piece game on Roblox, or are people just overhyping it? And I also want to go over some potential things they could add to hopefully improve the game. So for those that don't know, Rell Seas is going to be an open world RPG, but it's going to be exploration based, which is honestly a lot more important than you would probably think, especially if you don't play Roblox games that much. Because the game based on exploration usually implies that you're going to be going around doing and experiencing a lot of different variety of things. And when games don't have you doing a variety of new and different things, you get games that are literally you farming the same 6 bandits, and then you go farm another 6 bandits, and yes, I'm talking about bandit beaters, where you just farm brainlessly until you're max level just to get some mid PvP. And that's something in Rell Seas I want to talk about too. The PvP in this game is not no bandit beater PvP. It actually looks really interesting, but I want to talk about that later. But it feels like with what we have seen, along with the reputation of Rell brothers, it's very safe to assume that this won't be a bandit beater and will be an interesting game. But before we move on, I want to talk about the new gun sneaks we got recently and what we can expect, and this is actually really cool to see. So first off, we have pictures of a rifle, a minigun, like a shotgun looking thing, and a variety of different guns. But they gave us a message. They said there's going to be 5 different classes of guns you can utilize, and there's going to be gun combat, and they're going to have recoil, range, reload canceling, an ammo system, bullet speed, which is going to be all part of the combat, and each gun will have its own unique skills. And if they're trying to make their game unique, which they are doing it with this. They're actually making gun combat and giving attention to things that just don't get attention in other games for no reason. Like, guns are actually a lot bigger part of One Piece than you would think by playing One Piece games. And even in games like Grand Piece, you see Grand Piece give rifles, give pistols, but they just forget about the whole class. And then even recently in Pixel Piece, they had a gun stat, but they literally didn't even have a gun in the game, just because for some reason devs just ignore guns like they don't exist. And I hope they're able to continue innovating like this. And I think something else I hope they're able to do successfully is make crew systems actually feel like you're in a crew, which is harder to actually do than you would think. But since this game is really supposed to be based on exploration, I feel like crew should be a big part about that. And to make an actual good crew system in a Roblox One Piece game really revolves around making it part of the core game mode, or part of basically give incentives that you want to be in a crew. I feel like crews in 90% of Roblox One Piece games is literally just another way to party your friends. And I feel like crews are supposed to be so much more than that. And obviously incentive wise, you could add a bunch of different things. You could add like a real bounty system, or add like some sort of events that you need a crew for. But something that I feel like is very overlooked in One Piece games that really adds a crew feeling is ships. Like, especially in an exploration based game, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to really focus on ships. Like in One Piece, ships have so much value. They're like the heart of the crew and all this important stuff. So how could Rell Seas replicate this? So looking at the ships that have been sneaked that we have seen, it looks like they are going with like the normal feel, where you could basically just pick a bunch of ships and have like Game Pass ships and just the, the normal One Piece ships. But what I love to see that they do have is it looks like they have an inside, as you guys just seen on screen, and the inside is absolutely such a great addition to a One Piece game. And you might be thinking why, and it's because this will allow them to emphasize on the crew part of the game so much more if they want to. Like, I know a lot of people want custom ships in a One Piece game, and I do myself. And I mean, that door is not necessarily shut. It's still possible that you could have the normal ships and a separate way to get your own custom ship, but I'll talk about that specifically more later. But an inside alone gives you a lot more things you could do. For example, maybe you can customize the interior of your ship, and I feel like that by itself would just add a lot of immersion. But you could also make it so like only crew members could go inside the ship, so now all of a sudden crew actually matters, being in a crew. But something they also says, they did say this game is survival based. And in survival games usually have a hunger system. They haven't showed us a hunger system, so that's why I didn't even call it a survival game, because I'm not sure if this is like part of it at all. But if they do, imagine you in the kitchen chopping up food with your whole crew and all of that. I feel like that adds a lot of just cool stuff you could do. And then imagine your kitchen specifically is customized, and then you meet somebody and they invite you in their ship or something, and you see their ship, and then they got their own different setup with a different kitchen. I don't know, I feel like that would just make the whole crew experience and ship experience way cooler than I've ever seen in a game, or at least a One Piece game. But I don't know, it could be like some sort of achievement you have to get it, or some sort of cool way you have to get certain items. Then you could be flexing on people. It's like, oh, your kitchen got the golden what's it called, the thing in the kitchen that the water comes out of, the spout. You know what I'm saying? The sink. You know what I'm saying? The golden, we got that golden sink around here. Or maybe like Frankie gives you certain quests that you have to do to upgrade your ship or upgrade the inside of your ship. And then if they add a whole separate thing where you can get your own custom ship where you could like kind of build it from the ground up, that's where like maybe there's separate quests for that, or some sort of quest line for more exploration content, you feel me? But now I want to move on to talk about like PvP, fruits, fighting styles, weapons, all that kind of combined in a way. So we do know PvP will have a parry system, and it'll kind of have like air combat in a way, because not like straight air combat, but like you can bring fights to the air. And there's also different type of weapons. There's like light weapons, which are like daggers, and like heavy weapons, which are like the dark blade. And then you got fighting styles, which we haven't seen that much of. We've only seen Blackleg, but I imagine there's gonna be like the normal one, sword style, you know, the sword style, Blackleg, probably Fishman. Just depends on, like, maybe not on release, but eventually. But we've also seen sinks for over like 10 fruits, over 10 weapons. You also have guns, which I'm not even forgetting about, with 5 different classes themselves with different moves and systems. So imagine how versatile this combat is gonna be in the builds in this game. You're gonna have so many different builds. Someone might have gun, Tori, Blackleg. Compared to someone else might have a completely different build, or maybe they have a similar build but they still switch something different. And I feel like you can get so creative with this system. I don't know, I've never seen a game that gives you this many different options, and the PvP is skilled too, because they do have a parry system. I don't remember if they have an evasive system or not, but either way, it's clearly skill based. And with this many different builds, the only thing is I don't know exactly how devil fruits are going to interact with the PvP in this game, especially like these big zones. I don't know how much that's going to change, but all the zone fruits, or literally any fruit that requires like a big model, looks so good in this game. Probably the most impressive big model fruit game I've ever seen. And obviously the knowledge and sneaks we have seen on these fruits is very limited. We haven't really seen any moves, we've just seen models. But if they are able to get like good moves and good animations along with these good models, I don't know, man, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I feel like the real question is, on release of the game, will it be the best One Piece game on Roblox? And I feel like this really just depends. If you're optimistic, it could easily be the best game on release in my opinion. But if you're pessimistic or even realistic, there's a lot of what ifs. Like, the game is getting developed really fast. You could tell that the devs are definitely hard working, but like how much of this actual content will be available on release, you got a question. And even as fast as these devs are working, like there is some sort of limitation realistically, right? But honestly, when we got the most recent teaser and we seen how many fruits were in that crafting inventory, by the way, there's also crafting, I didn't even mention that, which is a whole nother system. I'm not even sure of what it would look like. Maybe it can involve inside the ships, you feel me? Nah, but I'm just trying to say the sheer amount of content we've seen on this game in such a short amount of time, I would have never expected. So releasing how much content is probably a lot more than you would expect, or at least I expected personally. Now I also want to make an announcement real quick. We've been cooking up stuff to do on stream, and we are opening up a Minecraft One Piece mod and map server. I'm gonna try to post this video, and then about 30 minutes after I post this video, go live, and we're either gonna be doing that or playing Roblox. So if y'all want to pull up, pull up. And if y'all enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like the video, because that helps me. I promise you it helps me way more than you actually think it helps me. So thank y'all.